for one that will actually make 40 gallons of fertilizer. So just wanted to let you know about that one. Then also we're going to talk SunPatiens. Oh, it almost came out of my mouth.
That's all right.
You know, there was a time when there was no SunPatiens.
Absolutely.
There was only impatiens, and you could only put them in the shady areas. Now, this is going to be the January garden item of the month. So, in other words, QVC has said, we're kicking off our garden season right here in January, which is today and tomorrow. And the fact is that you can set aside and reserve your SunPatiens, meaning that these can be in part to full sun, right?
They can be in full sun. These SunPatiens can be anywhere.
Okay,
they literally
good.
Can be anywhere. Yeah, traditional
Excellent.
impatiens, like you said, were only in the shade, and so these are they're sun-loving, heat-loving. They can grow in Dallas. They've been tested at the Dallas Arboretum.
Oh, good.
So these plants can grow. They'll thrive in heat, but they'll also work in shade.
Yeah.
They'll work in poor soil. They'll work in healthy soil. They'll work in wet soil. They'll work in dry soil. They will work everywhere. Yeah, look
at this. You get 8 of these plants, 8 of these. By the way, I just want to let you know, you can order 2 different ways. You can do a single shipment, which just ships for 2019, or you can place your order with auto delivery, and you would get these this spring for 2019, and you would get the exact same things at the exact same price and same easy pay next spring in 2020. Okay, so walk me through the different types that we have here, and it's color galore.
Oh,
my
color
gosh.
galore. This is our #1 annual, by the way. This is our most popular because, you know, these have had some problems, impatiens with downy mildew, with a disease. And so no problem with these. There is no issues with diseases on these plants. And you look at these beautiful, beautiful colors here.
And they have big buds.
Huge buds, these pretty little faces. You get this spreading corona, the orangey color, the Merlot Magic, which is almost a wine, which I almost love by itself, to this pink color and the bright white, which when I was telling you about doing my monochromatic garden, I did all white flowers everywhere.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
it really, this white is so bright, and it will stay so crisp and clean.
It's like snowy white.
It is.
You
Let's
know?
not talk about snow though.
Oh, I know.
We're dreaming of spring.
Here's the thing too, I always think white is one of those things that makes your colors stand out even more. You know, when you add white flowers to colored flowers, it just, there's something about it that just makes it come to life. Okay, so here's what I want you to know too. This is a sale price. So not only is it January garden item of the month, it's the preseason sale price of $41.96 or 2 monthly payments of $20.98. I can tell you from having worked here all these years since we started doing garden, it never ceases to amaze me. We can be halfway through the gardening season and all of our SunPatiens are gone. And it's so hard to get it. I mean, the later you wait into the season, the harder and harder it is to get them from QVC because they sell out time and time and time again. So I want to go back to, why should we buy SunPatiens from Cottage Farms?
Well, these SunPatiens, so we've curated this color collection for you. So, you know, the pinks are always really popular. And when you look at this color combination together, you are getting a really wow impact. So you are getting some bright, bold colors. Plus, you're getting 8 of them. You're getting 8 of them. And I want to show you what the ship sample will look like.
Okay.
Because this is what it's going to look like when it comes to your home. And well, first let's look at should we look at how beautiful the colors are? You can see how they work together there. You can see how nicely they work together. And then look at how big and bright that white color is. It's beautiful.
And they call it bright light.
Bright lights, and that will thrive. That color will stay that bright even in the heat of the sun. I love it. And this plant, look how enormous that is. So if you're deep in the South, where you're going to get your plant a little bit earlier home than maybe us here in Pennsylvania, you'll get it a little bit earlier to your home. You will get an enormous sized plant like that. Right. An enormous plant. You know,
because the longer the growing season and the more hot sun you have, the bigger it's going to grow.
The bigger it's going to grow. Right? Yeah. You may get almost a hip high plant by the 4th of July.
Oh my gosh.
Whereas us in Pennsylvania, our peak of the season will be towards the end of July, beginning of August.
August. But here's the thing, there you see the Merlot magic.
And look at it
Now I
with that
want to
yellow.
remind you, there's 2 different ways you can shop for this. You can actually get a single shipment that just comes for 2019, but if you know you love SunPatiens, go ahead and get the auto delivery, because what happens is it will ship this spring, of course, and then it will automatically ship again next spring. And of course, with any of our auto delivery, you can cancel at any time. Now, let's show you.
Let's talk about what
Here's
you'll get at home.
Here's the evolution of our SunPatiens.
So this is what it looks like when you get it at home. It is, you know, it's a smaller plant, but don't worry, because this will turn into these enormous plants. 4 weeks. In 4 weeks, you'll have this, and this one doesn't have any flowers on it, but yours may. In 4 weeks, it may have a few flowers. It will definitely have buds. And so within 4 weeks, and then in 6 to 8 weeks, your plant will be reaching its full maturity and will only continue to grow.
And they can get nice and big. I'm telling you, even here in Pennsylvania, because my husband does the SunPatiens every year, and they just get nice and robust and big. And the whole thing is that we have a yard where we used to only be able to put out impatiens because the whole backyard was shady. And so we'd put our impatiens back there. And I always said, honey, why can't we have that kind of color in the front yard where everybody drives in? And he's like, well, because they have to have shade. Well, that's no longer the case. These he can put out front where everybody sees it, and it's so gorgeous. So I'm just telling you right now, if you want to get our January Garden of the Month, item of the month, this is the time. We've sold 70,000 of these sets in the past. This is the first time you're seeing them, I believe, this year. And so you want to just, say, okay, give them to me. You get white, you get this Merlot, you get this beautiful pink, you get this gorgeous orange color. And however you want to mix them, you could mix the pinks together and mix the white with the orange. You could do containers in the ground.
Yeah, I have them along my walkway when you come up the front door.
Wow.
And then I have two trees, flowering trees on either side, because that's what I really, if you can look at that Rose of Sharon back there, and how beautifully the colors look, the 2 bright, bold pinks. I mean, these plants really work so well with anything, and they'll work great under a tree. Under a tree is a really tough place to landscape.
Yes.
So these plants will work spectacularly there.
That's a great point, and especially if they're getting sun. Yes, this is the Rose of Sharon, and that one, if you want it to go with your SunPatiens, that's a great idea. We have the hibiscus over there. If you want to get that hibiscus in that bright yellow golden color, that would be beautiful up with your SunPatiens as well. And they need the sun. Does it matter if there's kind of a drought, or does it have to have lots of water?
These do like to be watered, but they will survive in a drought. So they'll take anything. You give it to them, and we've given it to them and given it to them, and they keep coming back. But yeah, they do like to be watered, especially if they're a new plant. These are annuals, so they have 1 season of color, which means they will give it to us all season long.
Oh, I love
that. But they
that.
will like to be watered, especially in the heat of the summer, maybe at least once a week.
You know, it's funny, because I always know if it's not getting a lot of sun, or a lot of water, they'll start to just kind of like, they look like they're tired. So you give them a drink and they perk right up.
Almost in the next hour they'll perk up. It's amazing how they respond to water.
They truly do. Stay in the line. That is a big item for January. You want to make sure you get your reserved, your reservations in right away, so that it will ship out to you, and you can get it either just for spring 2019 or this spring and next spring. And you'll get to stay at this same pre-season sale price, as well as the 2 easy monthly payments of $20.98. Now, we're going to talk about the lavender again, because that lavender is so beautiful. I just want to mention that if you love lavender, here is a great set to be able to get, because of the fact that it's a dwarf size. So